Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's talk about another easy problem on Leetcode today. Missing number, Leetcode 268. This problem is part of Blind 75, a curated list of essential coding interview questions. You can find the full list linked in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Now to the problem. In this problem, we are given an array nums containing n distinct numbers in the range 0 to n inclusive, and our task is to return the only number in the range that is missing from the array. The total number of elements in the range 0 to n is n plus 1, and the elements are 0, 1, 2 all the way up till n, and the array contains n elements, meaning exactly one number is missing from the full range, and our goal is to find that missing number. For example, in example 1, n is equal to 3, so the range will be from 0 to 3, containing the elements 0, 1, 2 and 3, and the array contains the elements 3, 0, 1. So only number which is missing in the range is 2, hence 2 will be our answer. Similarly, in example 2, n is equal to 2, so the range will be from 0 to 2, containing the elements 0, 1 and 2, and the array contains the elements 0 and 1. And again, the only number which is missing in the range is 2, hence we will return 2 as our answer. And the follow-up of this problem is, could you implement the solution using O1 extra space complexity and O of n runtime complexity? Now in terms of solution, a straightforward approach will be to sort the array. When sorted, the numbers in the array align with the indices since they range from 0 to n. For example, for this array, the indices are 0, 1 and 2. And after sorting, the array becomes 0, 1, 3. Now once the array is sorted, we will iterate through each element of the array and compare the value at each index with the index itself. And if the value does not match the index, it indicates a missing number which we can return as our answer. For example, here the index 0 matches the number 0, then index 1 matches the number 1, but the index 2 does not match the number 3. Hence, the missing number is number 2, which we will return as our answer. And in case all the indices match the number, then the last element in the range, that is n, will be our answer. For example, if the sorted array had elements 0, 1 and 2 at indices 0, 1 and 2, that would have perfectly matched all the values with the indices. Hence, in this case, the missing number will be n, which is 3. Now, the time complexity of this approach is O of n log n, because first we sort the array, that takes O of n log n time, and then we traverse through the array and match the indices, which takes O of n time. So the overall time complexity is O of n log n. And the space complexity will be O of 1 if we use in-place sorting algorithms like quicksort. And notice that after sorting the array, we are performing a linear search on the array. But since the array is sorted, we can optimize it further by using the binary search. In binary search, we take 2 pointers left and right on either end of the array, and then we calculate the middle index by using the formula left plus right by 2. Here, for example, L is 0 and R is 2, so midpoint will be equal to 0 plus 3 by 2 equal to 1. Then we check if the element at the middle index matches the value. If that is the case, then there was no element missing till this point, and hence the missing element should be on the right side of the array. But if they are not equal, then the missing element must be in the left half, including the middle index, because if a number is missing, the alignment between the index and the value at the index at some point breaks, and we don't know where exactly in the left half the misalignment occurs. It can be before the middle index or it can be also at the middle index. And we will continue with this search till the left and right pointers meet and the search space shrinks to just one element, which is the missing one. For example, here midpoint 1 is equal to value 1, so that means there was no missing element in the left half. So we will move our search for the missing element to the right half by setting left equal to mid plus 1. So now both left and right pointers are equal to 2, and hence midpoint will also be equal to 2. And this time the middle index 2 doesn't match the value at index 2, which is equal to 3. Hence we found the mismatch. So mismatch should occur in the left half of the array, including the middle index 2 itself. Since both left and right pointers meet and we found a mismatch, we can return either of left or right pointer as our answer because our search space has shrunk to just one element, which should be a missing element due to the mismatch. Here, both left and right pointers point to index 2, hence our missing number is 2. And the time complexity will still be O of n log n, mainly due to sorting, even though our search time complexity improves from O of n to O of log n. And now the question is, can we do better? And the answer is yes. A more effective approach to track the presence of the elements is to use hash set. In hash set, we can insert the element and look it up in just O of 1 time. So we can add all the elements from the array into the hash set. For example, for this array, the hash set now will have elements 3, 0 and 1. And then we will verify each number in the range 0 to n, where n is equal to 3 for this array. And then we will check which of the numbers in the range is missing in the hash set one by one. So here we will start with the number 0 in the range and it is present in the hash set. Then the next number is 1, that is also present in the hash set. Then the next number is 2, which is not present in the hash set. So 2 is our missing number, which we will return as our answer. Now the time complexity of this approach is O of n, because first we add all the elements in the array to the hash set, that takes O of n time, and then we will iterate through the range again to check which number is missing. That again takes O of n time. So overall time complexity is O of n. And the space complexity will also be O of n, as we are using a set to store all the numbers in the array. And now, while this approach is efficient, in the follow-up part, we are asked to solve this problem in O of 1 time. And this is where we can use the fact that all the numbers are from range 0 to n. So the range has n plus 1 elements and array has n elements. So if we sum up all the numbers in the range, let that sum be a, and then we sum up all the elements in the nums array, let that sum be b, then the difference between both the sums a and b will be the missing number, which we will return as our answer. For example, for this array, the range is from 0 to 3. So if we sum up all the elements in this range, the output will be 6. And if we sum up the elements in this array, the output will be 4. And now if we take the difference between these two sums, the result will be 2. Now the time complexity of this approach will be O of 2n equal to O of n, because first we calculate the sum of the range, that takes O of n time, and then we calculate the sum of the array, that takes O of n time, resulting in overall time complexity of O of n. And the space complexity will be O of 1 because we are using few variables like the range and array sum. And also to calculate the sum of the numbers in the range, we can also use the Gaussian formula. So we know that the sum of the arithmetic progression of m elements can be calculated by multiplying number of elements in the progression into the average of first term in the sequence denoted by a and the last number or mth number in the progression, which will be a plus m minus 1 into d, where d is the fixed difference between two consecutive terms. So here m is equal to n plus 1 because those are the number of elements in the range, and a is equal to 0 and d is equal to 1. So we can derive our formula as n into n plus 1 by 2. So here n is equal to 3. So sum of the elements in the range is equal to 6 and sum of the elements of the array is equal to 4. And again the missing number will be equal to 6 minus 4 equal to 2. Now we did a slight optimization that we can calculate the sum of the elements in the range in O of 1 time using the formula. But the time complexity of this approach remains O of n because we still need to calculate the sum of the elements in the array. Here is a quick code walkthrough of the algorithm we just talked about with Java code on the left and Python on right. First, let's get n, which is the length of the input array and denotes the range 0 to n. Then we calculate the expected sum of range 0 to n using the Gaussian formula, which gives the expected sum as n into n plus 1 by 2. Now let's calculate the actual sum, which is initially equal to 0. And now we will iterate through all the elements in the array and add each number to the actual sum. And finally, the difference between the expected and actual sum will be the missing number. Now, while this solution is optimal and is accepted on the Leetcode, an interviewer may sometimes raise the concerns about the overflow, as the summation could involve very large numbers. To address this, in Java we can use long to handle larger numbers, while Python inherently supports arbitrary precision and can manage this without issues. However, a better approach is to avoid full range summation entirely. Instead, we can calculate the difference between each number I in the range 0 to n and the corresponding index number in the array, which is num_i. And since the array contains n elements, but the range consists of n plus 1 elements, we simply add the last number in the range to account for the missing number. This avoids potential overflow issues. Another elegant solution is to use XOR-based approach, which avoids summation entirely and provides a highly efficient alternative. XOR is a bitwise operation that evaluates each pair of corresponding bits in two numbers. When we XOR two bits, the result is 1 if the bits are different, but 0 if the bits are same. For example, 0 XOR 0 is equal to 0, 1 XOR 1 is equal to 0, 0 XOR 1 is equal to 1, and 1 XOR 0 is equal to 1. So if we compute XOR between two numbers, say 3 and 5, with binary representation 0, 1, 1 and 1, 0, 1 respectively, starting from 0th position, the result for 0th bit will be 0 because 1 XOR 1 will be equal to 0, 1 XOR 0 is equal to 1, and 0 XOR 1 is equal to 1, which is 6 in decimal. Also, XOR of a number with itself is 0, so x XOR x will be equal to 0. Why this holds true is because at bit level, every bit in x cancels out when XORed with itself, resulting in all the 0 bits. Hence, the number becomes 0. Also, if we XOR a number with 0, we get the number itself. Again, because at the bit level, XORing any bit 1 or 0 with 0 leaves the bit unchanged. So, the number remains unchanged. And also, when XORing multiple elements, order of the elements don't matter. So, if we do A XOR, B XOR C, it is same as A XOR, C XOR B. So, this tells XOR is both commutative, that is order don't matter, and associative, that grouping does not change the value. Now let's see how these properties are useful in this problem. So for this given array, the range is 0 to 3, containing the elements 0, 1, 2 and 3. So now if we XOR all the elements in the array and then XOR it with all the expected numbers in the range, the magic will happen. That is, all the numbers that occur twice or even number of times will cancel each other out because XOR of identical numbers results in 0. That is, x XOR x is equal to 0. So 0 and 0 will cancel out, 3 and 3 will cancel out, 1 and 1 will cancel out, and only number which remains uncancelled is the missing number, which is 2 in this case. Hence, 0 XOR 2 equal to 2 will be our answer. Now the time complexity of this approach is again O of n, because first we are XORing all the elements in the array and then XORing it with all the numbers in the range, resulting in O of 2n or O of n time complexity. And the space complexity of this approach is O of 1 because we are using this XOR variable to store the XOR of all the numbers. Here is a quick code walkthrough of the algorithm we just talked about, with Java code on the left and Python on right. First, let's get n, which is the total number of elements in the array, which gives a range 0 to n. Let's also initialize the variable XOR to store the cumulative XOR result. Now, we will iterate through each element in the array using a loop where each index I in the array denotes a number in the range. Hence, we will take the XOR of index I and the value at that index, and after exiting the loop, we will XOR the result with the last number of the range. This ensures that all the paired indices and array values cancel out, leaving only the missing number. So that's all for this video. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an update. Your support helps me create more content like this. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.